What's up, guys? It's Bone here, and today I found a Reddit article actually that's talking about CSGO reviews actually suffering quite a bit. And when I say quite a bit, I mean it's, well, gone from a 92% rating to a 72% positive rating. Significant drop over a few months, so let's talk about what the possibilities of why this is happening. If you were honestly expecting me to be playing the new Cedar map, I got you. I got you. This is old Nuke. Rip old Nuke. Let's have a moment of silence for old Nuke. Okay, that's good enough. Anyway, so yeah, I saw a Reddit thread today. It's talking about how CSGO's reviews have gone from a 93% positive rating down to a 72% positive rating. And that's a significant drop considering that CSGO has over 1.4 million reviews on Steam alone. Now, I do have to give credit to this guy. He did provide the proper evidence. Note, the red underline shows that it was back in January, and now it shows it's in September. And those are the review ratings of positivity. Now, what does this mean for CSGO as a community and how it actually is functioning? Well, I've recently just decided to look at the reviews on Steam, just a couple of them, more of the negative ones, because there's a lot more positive ones of either inactive players or just funny reviews that were rated as positive, but obviously had some negative comments on them. But most of the reviews just summed it up as the community is very toxic, and overall it just has a lot of issues with hacking and other things. Some of the other reviews commented on, oh, I lost my rank because I'm bad, and some of the other reviews just kind of rambled on about a variety of other aspects, but in the end, it came out to be Counter-Strike has the issue with the community as being very toxic. One of the most toxic communities I do know of is the League of Legends community. League of Legends is a very, very competitive, toxic game where if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you get shamed and you get kicked out and all that stuff. So, what do we do to CSGO to help fix this? Because some of the reviews had a lot of points. Some of the servers are terrible. Just so many other issues. Personally, playing yesterday, we had massive issues with lag and other things in the game, so I don't really know why that happened, but like both sides were reporting the server was having lag spikes. And we lost that game, but I was in a 5-man queue. I know where all my friends are located, roughly, and state-wise at least. And the other team seemed to be like they were more of a West Coast or a Denver server. Because they had a better ping than us by far, but they still were saying, yeah, we are getting the same lag spikes you are. I think that this is just kind of an issue that Valve needs to address. Is it the fact that it's not a 64 or what the fuck is it? 128 tick server? No, it's an issue with the server's bandwidth or something. And I will note that I don't know why I got, like, my whole team that's based Central US got matched on a West Coast / Denver server because we all are located in Central or East Coast, basically. We're all pretty much on the East Coast area. So we have better connections to Central and East Coast servers, everyone included. And somehow we got a West Coast server, and it ended up putting us at a significant disadvantage. Don't know why still, but whatever. And this is at prime time. It's about 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, I don't know. So, I think there was a matchmaking issue there, because we queued a lot of maps. And so we shouldn't have had an issue with, oh, there's only like 3 people going for Mirage, or Dust 2, or whatever. So again, let's get back to the main issue of this. Why is CSGO suffering review-wise? Because having all of a sudden your review rating go from a 93% to a 72% positive rating, that's pretty freaking bad. And I think it's just a lot of people are finally realizing how the community actually is. And I'm not gonna golden plate myself and say, I'm not toxic, I'm not mean. I'm an asshole in CSGO. If I'm throwing, I'm fucking throwing. I'll be an asshole. I'll team flash and shit. And that's one reason silvers never get out of silver, because assholes like me and all the other smurfs down there spamming through the floor. Rip old Nuke. But assholes just griefing and deranking regardless of rank. The only rank you are actually safe at is global, and that's when you get people from ESEA who are like 5 steps above global. That's the worst part. You end up with that shit. So yeah, anyway, I really don't know why we are having this issue still. Like, CSGO is a 4-year-old game. Valve should be able to have a decent anti-cheat at this point, and they don't. Faceit is also included in this bad anti-cheat because they actually recorded some hackers going against Winterfox yesterday. So, Faceit, get your shit right too. But what are we gonna do as a community to get Valve to fix this shit? CSGO is a major fucking issue. I did a video yesterday on getting CSGO'd consistently, possible issues on why it happens and all that other stuff. That's an issue that we've had for quite some time, but it's gotten much worse in the past few months. What are we going to do about the cheating and hacking issue? What are we going to do about the tick rate issue? There is a significant difference between 64 and 128 tick. One of my friends who never played on Faceit went on Faceit with him, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier to b-hop on. It's so much easier, so much more fluid to move on. Your server is just twice as responsive in those. It's pathetic when we come with this stuff and we end up having this issue with the shitty-ass servers we deal with. Overwatch is hard to deal with those close cases with the 30-tick servers. I honestly don't know how this is an old match from a long time ago. I don't know why I had this in my save demos, 40 bomb there. But now we're going to go on to Nuke, our favorite map. But, so Overwatch is so hard to deal with now, especially those close games where it's like, I don't know, it's like debatable, because now we have aim locks that go to the left or right of the player instead of locking directly on them. So it's a little bit harder to see as an aim lock. And if we're stuck with these 30-tick servers, half the speed of what we play competitive at, that puts people who are meant to get cheaters out at a huge disadvantage. I do know that this is a issue that Valve could be having with the bandwidth being not good enough, but Valve, you're a multi-billion-dollar company, for fuck's sake. Come on. The community has protested consistently. There's petitions out to get Valve to fix this shit. Pro players complain directly to Valve about the flaws in VAC, about the flaws in the game. Does Valve really listen that much? No. Dota 2 is their special child right now. CSGO is like your ugly stepchild that you kind of just put in the corner and ignore most of the time. And why? Because Dota 2 has $10 million prize pools on a yearly basis. But CSGO is growing on this shit so much. So why can't CSGO get a little bit more love? Because Valve just knows, regardless, we're still gonna play. We're still gonna play. Regardless to the hackers, regardless to the smurfs, they put in half-ass patches, mediocre tick rates, and all this shit, and they still know it's a game we know and will accept as a competitive first-person shooter, being one of the quote-unquote premier shooters out there. Again, how are we going to combat this and get Valve to get their heads out of their asses? Well, we've tried petitions. The petition kind of worked, because we've seen that they've started to work on the tick rate. Nick Bunyan released a petition talking about many of the issues. Hit reg is one of them. And they've started to work on the hit reg. Now, is one of the fixes for the hit reg going to be a updated tick rate? I really hope that. Is tick rate that significant? Yes and no. Is it going to be the ultimate fix? No, we need better hitboxes still. Is it going to be the fix we want to fix cheaters? No. How are we going to get Valve to pay attention to all these issues? We need to change our reviews. Our reviews at this point have been saying, yeah, we love, like, 1 point some fucking million reviews say that this game is great. This game is amazing. It's like 1.3 million. The rest of them say, actually point out the fucking flaws. I'm actually going to, after this, I'm going to stop my recording right now and change my review and do an honest fucking review on CSGO. Be back in about 5 minutes. Now that this is over, and we now have my review updated, I'm going to encourage everyone watching my video not to just bandwagon hate CSGO. That's not what I want. I hate bandwagon hate. What I want is you personally to look at your review and reevaluate it and see, is it what the review CSGO actually deserves if you do own CSGO? If you think it's not, change your review. I encourage everyone who doesn't think that the game is at the current state it should be, or was at a while ago, quality-wise, DLC-wise, because in my review, I pointed out that, well, we used to get DLC or the operations pretty often. We ended up with operations maybe 2-3 months apart. And the last operation, Wildfire, was like 6 months apart. So I'm going to encourage you guys to reevaluate your reviews on CSGO, because if it's not the same game it was, or if it doesn't uphold your standards, point that out in the reviews. You don't even have to make it negative, just point out cons. Structure your review. Just don't put a rant or a funny review if you don't think it deserves that review anymore. Screenshot that review and just save it. But CSGO at its current state is miserable, and Valve needs to learn somehow. And I think the reviews changing from a overwhelmingly positive to even just positive or mixed, that would probably get their heads out of their ass. They'd probably really work on CSGO at that point. But I'd like to hear what you guys think below. Is CSGO currently in the state it should be? Is it as good as it used to be? I want to hear about all of this below. Let's start a discussion. We can start a Reddit thread if you want. Link the Reddit thread and I will allow that comment to go through. Anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.